Hello, welcome to Chinwag. This evening I'm welcoming a gentleman who I've known for over 20 years. I've had the significant pleasure of working on a number of projects with him, most recently a film that Dean directed, which was his directorial debut. It was released on Christmas Day on the internet, and it's a free film. You can watch it on Vimeo. It's called Kubrick's. Although we've known each other for 20 years, there's loads of stuff that I don't know about you, and part of what tonight is going to be involving is a showing of a film that you wrote with Irvine. How did you meet Irvine?
In a boozer in London. After you, can you hear me?
Yeah.
After you gave me a book called Trainspotting, I was just drinking in a boozer, and we had loads of mates in common, and we just got friendly. Started working from then on.
How do you start working with a bloke who has written a book which arguably defined a generation, or at least caught the zeitgeist of a generation?
How did you start working with him?
Yeah, I mean, how did you start working with him? You know, what did you say? Hey, I tell you what,
can I have
mate.
a job?
Yeah.
No, just like I said, we a lot of things in common. Obviously, I'd read his work, and I was trying to be a screenwriter at the time, and it just gave me a chance, you know, when no one else would, which were brave on his part because I was untested. And it just sort of took off from there. Started working together regular. Ended up getting a lot of knockbacks and rejection, as you do in this game. And it just went on from there. It's just totally organic. You know, there's been no secret to it or anything. You know, just try. If we've got ideas, we knock it back and forth. Sit down, write a screenplay, get it out to a producer. Try get funding. If that doesn't happen, move on to the next one.
You hate this industry, don't you? The film industry and the TV industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't stand it.
When did you realise that you hated it so much?
Well, I think anyone who works in it, who's had any sort of even minor success, will tell you the same thing. It's dictated to by, you know, you're forever chasing the next funding, which obviously you need to make the films or the TV series. It's not so much the industry as the people that work in it, who are, you know, in our experience, most of them are tossers. So that's it.
Why do you think it attracts that?
I think there's a nepotistic network going on with people that we've worked with. They all seem to be from certain areas. They've all got the same friends, come from the same universities, colleges, and it leads that they end up working in this industry without having ever created anything themselves. Never wrote or directed or acted even, or, you know, done anything in the arts. And then when they get this position, they seem more interested in keeping their salaries than actually doing anything, you know, making anything new or having a go at anything. So you end up with this sort of vicious circle going round where, you know, you're trying to get things made or try to get things done, and you're up against the same people all the time.
How long did it take? What was the gestation period of this the film we're going to see tonight? What was, you know, how did it happen?
Gemma Rogers made a thing called League of Gentlemen, which were done round. Well, it was shot in Hatfield, but the people that made it were all sort of Yorkshire lads, and, you know, Rhys J. Smith, Mark Gattis, and she'd just come off of that, and she'd won a lot of awards, and she was doing really well. And she got an opportunity at Channel 4. One of the commissioning directors, who sadly left, said, "Do you want to make a film?" So she had a script by me and Irvine, and we ended up making it 6 weeks, I think it took, down in London and Leigh, where it's mostly shot, and it came out straight away. But they did promote it really well. They seemed to sit on it, you know, at the time.
Why do you think they did that?
Well, I don't think they knew how to market it. Because obviously it's not train spotting and it's not the acid house, or it's a departure for Irvine. Because it's just basically a romp. You know, we wanted to make something quite dark, but with, you know, just a really have a really good time making it. Have the characters get up to all sorts of things. You know, it's quite an hyper-real sort of film. You know, we didn't have any. We knew it wasn't going to get a theatrical release as well, which helped because we could get away with more. I think we didn't have to please distributors.
What, even with it being on Channel 4, who are now famously making programmes that are pretty shit, to be honest.
Well, I think all TV, all broadcasters do, you know what I mean? They make some good stuff and bad, but...
Channel 4 has turned into proper, well, yeah, it's drivel,
proper, yeah. I mean, well, you've got Benefits Street, haven't you? So it's... that, you know, that just takes the piss. But no, I mean, she's separate. Caroline led it. She's a commissioning editor that left Channel 4 just before we made this, which were a good exit route. But no, we won't get it made now. We won't get. They won't make it now because the whole structure's changed. You know, it's in the 4 years since it's been made, 4 or 5 years since it's been made. You've got an all new strand of management in there who are even more down on experimental work or risking an arm, you know, and taking a punt. So what you've got now, you've got even more formulaic programming, even in drama. So you end up, you know, again, like I say, you end up going around in circles. With, you know, this couldn't have been made at the BBC at the time. BBC wouldn't have even touched it.
Could it be made now by the BBC?
No, it wouldn't get made. We're quite lucky, and we know the fact, because we've tried since. Even with Michael Fassbender, they're just not interested. They've got a formulaic pattern going on, and they all compete with each other. So them days when, on the BBC years ago, when you had the Play for a Day, when you had like Bleasdale and people coming up, you just don't have that anymore. There's no... They talk about the writers' room at the BBC. What they don't tell you is it might be 1 out of 10,000 that come through with that. You know, it's bullshit. They're not helping anyone, really. I mean, they're just paying lip service to a lot of writers, you know, and fortunately for us, we're in a position where we can get meetings and get a bit of funding. Not much, but we can get, you know, we can get things off the ground. It doesn't mean it's going to get made or distributed, but we're on the right track, you know.
You've mentioned to me on many occasions, you've mentioned the term development hell.
Yeah.
How long have you been in development now? With
projects?
With the ratio of projects that you've had made?
It's made.
Yeah.
About, since I've been doing it, 18 years, 19 years.
And what ratio have you had made to not been made?
Oh, we've got scripts, me and Irvine, that have been commissioned from HBO to, you know, major film studios, BBC, you know, you name it. We've had dealings with them. Like Filth, that's just come out. That with a UK company that Miramax, Harvey Weinstein set up, and we had that. We started doing that when it came out as a book. Just after it came out as a book.
How long ago was that?
98. It's just been made, it got made last year. Unfortunately, my screenplay didn't get used, but that's another story. But yes, so we've got projects that we started together in '99 that we're still talking about nowadays. That, because I think as well, because we don't bend, you know, we're quite stringent in what we want to do. You know, we're quite chippy about it. You know, we don't just roll over and say, "Oh, we'll take anything."
How much will you be flexible? You know, what level of flexibility will you employ in order to get something made, or you know, is there a cut-off point for you?
It depends. I mean, most of that's done by a producer. We're working with Gemma. She's a fantastic producer. You know, she, like I said, League of Gentlemen. She cut her teeth on that. That were a really arduous thing to make. You know, so out of the box for its time. You know, and it was fantastic. And you know, it stands up to date. And I think you need a producer. You know, the producer takes a lot of the shit. You're sharing it, obviously, but it's the producer that at the end of the day, you've got to trust your producer and let them go for it. we get kept out of a lot of meetings because we're not known to suffer fools.
No surprise there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you upset people, don't you?
Well, not intentionally, no, but
Really?
yeah. But no, I just, and it isn't even the true thing, you know. I tell it like it is, you know. If they're wasting your time, even when they're paying you, you know, what a lot of people do is they get paid and they put up with the bullshit, and they sort of take it on the chin and go, yeah, pay lip service. I've never done that, and I just don't see the point in doing it. You know, obviously I'd get more things made and probably be a lot wealthier, but it's just not in me, so I don't even attempt to do it.
How different is Wedding Bells, the thing that we're going to see tonight, to what you started out with when you started, you know, when you first started working?
From the original script?
Yeah.
It's all in there. That's what I mean, working with a good producer.
Wow.
And a good commissioning editor, you can get away with murder, and we did with this. That's probably why Channel 4 didn't get behind it. You know, a lot of we pissed on a lot of fires getting it made. You know.
So what sort of fires were you pissing on then? Who were you pissing on?
Like I said, when you work in an establishment, the hierarchy that you're up against it's set in stone. You know what I mean? You don't do certain things or say certain things to certain people. You know, you play the game if you want to get on, you know, the old adage. But we've been lucky in that neither of us play games, you know what I mean? We just do what we'd never go down the road of just doing something for the sake of doing it. You know, there's always got to be a point to it and an end product that we're going to be proud of, that we've had a major input into. Whereas a lot of filmmakers we've come across will bend over backwards and take it up the arse just to get the money. You know, well, fair play to them if that's what they want to do, but we don't want to do that. You know, it's like, you know, with Filth, Irvine waited after Weinstein shut the company down. It took him all this time to get it made, but he got it eventually made with someone that he wanted to work with on his own terms. You know, he had to bend a little bit, obviously with financing, but, you know, if you set your stall out at the beginning, people know what you're about. You know, and if they want you to... if they want you to play the games, you know, they're going to either have to massively reimburse you or they'll give you something else, you know. You just don't take it for nothing. You don't take it easy. You don't take it lying down. And it's worked for us. But again, there's other people that are doing fantastic work and they are bending, but that's down to them.